Battle through the firmament. Grand World. Chapter 321, A duel between powerhouses. The surroundings of the Yunlo Academy were surrounded by towering mountains. It was the best place for many students to cultivate. There was no lack of powerful spirit beasts in these mountains. To the students of the academy, these spirit beasts were perfect for cultivation. Apart from that, there was also a desert and a stream in the mountains. All kinds of environments complemented each other. This was also one of the reasons why the Yunlo Academy was built here. Swoosh! Two human figures suddenly rushed over in the calm mountain forest. They stopped in front of an empty land. Surprisingly, it was Xiaoyan and Mahiyu. This place is not bad. No one will disturb us. Looking at the surroundings, Mahiyu nodded her head in satisfaction. With the illusion purple eye, she could clearly see that there were no signs of life within a few miles. Oh right, before the fight, I want to know if you used your full strength when you fought Jushinho in Heaven Pillar Peak. Mahiyu looked at Xiaoyan and said in a melodious voice. Xiaoyan thought for a while and shook his head. Back then, he was restricted by the environment at the peak of the Heaven Pillar Peak. The origin monic key within his body had been consumed intensely. He had only used the blue flame ruler for a short period of time before giving up. Naturally, he did not dare to try using the Buddha Fury Fire Lotus that consumed the most Buddha Fury Fire Lotuses. Seeing Xiaoyan nod his head, Mahiyu was stunned for a moment. Then, her smile became even wider. Sure enough, you are really hiding your true strength. This is also good. Don't hold back today. Let me see your true strength. Just as her voice fell, Mahiyu already shouted out. Her figure flashed and appeared like a white lightning that broke through the sky. Her speed was not inferior to Wushouki's. Xiaoyan lifted his eyebrows. He did not dare to be careless. The origin monic key within his body whistled. Without the ability to shrink back in the Heaven Pillar Peak, Xiaoyan's key soared into the sky. His body moved and rushed towards Mahiyu. The two of them did not use the monic skill. They merely relied on their strong physical bodies to exchange blows. In an instant, they had exchanged dozens of blows. Bang! Both of their palms collided. Xiaoyan only felt a tightness in his chest. His body involuntarily pulled back, leaving a deep mark on the ground. Mahiyu merely shook her body and the force disappeared. Xiaoyan looked at Mahiyu. The latter still had a smile on her face, as though she was not affected at all. However, purple light flowed within her eyes. Xiaoyan sighed in his heart. He involuntarily laughed bitterly. Mahiyu had clearly seen his attack path under the illusory purple eyes. She merely used a little physical strength to easily block all of his attacks. Under such circumstances, he was completely at a disadvantage. All right, Xiaoyan's eyes focused. The origin monic key in his body was roaring crazily. In the next moment, a huge white tiger phantom appeared behind him. At the same time, Xiaoyan's speed had soared. He arrived in front of Mahiyu in an instant. Mahiyu's eyes were filled with purple light. She had seen Xiaoyan's move before in Heaven Pillar Peak. She was not surprised. Her beautiful figure continuously retreated while Xiaoyan, who had transformed into a white tiger, chased after her relentlessly. The accumulated ki in his body also slowly rose. White tiger sky-shattering strike. When the ki rose to its peak, Xiaoyan suddenly roared. He raised his huge tiger claw and smashed it towards Mahiyu like it was suppressing everything. Mahiyu's expression did not change. Her eyes were extremely calm. She did not panic even when the tiger palm landed. White tiger spiritual spell. Xiaoyan's eyes were slightly red. The origin monic key in his body surged wildly. The white tiger behind him seemed to have materialized as it rushed explosively towards Mahiyu. The surrounding mountain rocks were blasted away by the fierce aura of the white tiger and exploded. Deep marks had long been left on the ground and dust filled the air. Mahiyu finally made a move the moment the white tiger charged forward. Both of her arms were suddenly lifted. Purple light wrapped around her 10 fingers. 10 purple chains suddenly rose from the ground and swiftly wrapped around the white tiger. The latter raised his head and roared furiously but was unable to break free. Xiaoyan was stunned when he saw this. Soon after, he came to a sudden realization. During the process of retreating, Mahiyu had already prepared this monic skill underground and was waiting for him to unleash the third style of the White Tiger arts. I never thought that you would also have the monic arts. Looking at the purple chains that wrapped around the White Tiger's body, Xiaoyan couldn't help but look at Mahiyu. He was only able to have the White Tiger arts by luck, and it was only because of Xiao's reminder that he was able to cultivate the third style of the White Tiger arts. Mahiyu's talent was indeed amazing. This monic skill of yours is stronger than the first level. It will reach the level of the monic arts when you reach the third level. It is truly amazing. That's why I have been waiting for you to use the third level. How about it? Although my 10 Solar Illusions purple chain is only a beginner level monic arts, it is still one of the stronger types. Your White Tiger has also been trapped. Mahiyu's 10 fingers moved continuously. 10 purple chains buzzed and entangled the White Tiger. No matter how hard the latter struggled, it was unable to break free. This 10 Solar Illusions purple chain complements my illusion purple eye. Under the effect of the illusion purple eye, even a middle monic arts can't withstand it. After hearing Mahiyu's words, Xiaoyan couldn't help but nod secretly. As expected of a person with a special constitution, the illusion purple eye that grew up was indeed much stronger than Jushinho's sacred fire body. I am satisfied that I can use this technique to force you to use your strongest attack. This technique must have consumed a lot of origin monic ki. Xiaoyan narrowed his eyes and looked at Mahiyu. Seeing the latter nod her head, Xiaoyan gently smiled and suddenly clenched his left fist. Alright, next. Let's begin the second round of battle. The White Tiger, which was entangled by the 10 Yang illusionary purple chains, roared towards the sky as it spoke. Light flowed on its body and it exploded in an instant. The 10 chains, which were flickering with purple light, also disappeared. The second round is good. Mahiyu, who had recovered from her shock, also gently smiled. She pulled back the hair by her ear and her eyes suddenly became tough. She gently shifted her feet and rushed towards Xiaoyan. A light purple thin sword had unknowingly appeared in her delicate hand. Purple ki surged on the blade of the sword. The lines were unique. Clearly, it was an extraordinary item. Xiaoyan flipped his body and dodged the sword ki that was rushing towards him. At the same time, the blue flame ruler also appeared in his hand. Following a puffing sound, the crimson gold flame wrapped around it. Seeing the crimson gold flame on the blue flame ruler, Mahiyu's forward body suddenly stopped. She frowned slightly. She softly said, "Monic flame." Mahiyu's expression was solemn when she saw Xiaoyan nod his head. She cried out in a lovely voice and the origin monic ki had already wrapped around her body. The purple origin ki rotated and even the air was cut apart. The emperor flame on the blue flame ruler swallowed and exhaled. Xiaoyan did not hesitate any longer. Wind was blowing on the soles of his feet. 9 revolving wind-shifting steps was unleashed. Although it was not as fast as Wushouqi's speed, it was like a spark that shot towards Mahiyu. Swoosh! The whistling sound seemed to tear through the air. Purple light flowed within Mahiyu's eyes. Her left shoulder shook slightly and she dodged the whistling blue flame ruler. Although the flame on it was lingering, it was cut apart by the purple origin ki. Xiaoyan's eyes focused. His wrist suddenly turned and the blue flame ruler also paused. The ruler was directly thrown towards Mahiyu's waist. Under such circumstances, Xiaoyan could not care less about tender feelings for the fairer sex. Mahiyu raised her eyebrows and waved her delicate hand. The purple thin sword blocked in front of her waist. A huge force was transmitted over, but it was as if it was swallowed by the purple thin sword. Mahiyu's body trembled and she left Xiaoyan far away. Good sword technique. Seeing Mahiyu use this heavenly weapon magically, Xiaoyan could not help but cheer. He tightened the grip of the ruler in his hand and rushed towards Mahiyu once again. On the surface of the ruler, the golden flame quietly separated and poured into the ruler. Threads of lightning arcs that were difficult to see with the naked eye instantly jumped up and down. Mihiyu let out a light breath and gently raised her delicate hand. The purple patterns on the thin purple sword vibrated and emitted a sharp sound. Wang. The sword lightly flicked and Mihiyu's beautiful figure moved and fearlessly charged forward. Purple light filled the sky. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.